point you're unwilling to tolerate this idea of a Trump put? Is there a threshold?
I think your question is so stupid. I mean, I think I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. And we have such a horrible, we have been treated so badly by other countries because we had stupid leadership that allowed this to happen. They took our businesses, they took our money, they took our jobs, they moved it to Mexico, they moved it to Canada, they moved a lot of it to China, and it's not sustainable. We're not going to do it. Now we have hundreds of billions of dollars is pouring into our country. On a monthly basis, it's pouring, it's already started because I put tariffs on. And eventually it's going to straighten out and our country will be solid and strong again.
The reason Donald Trump called that reporter's question stupid and previous trade policies stupid is very simple. It's because he's stupid. He even tossed around a medicine analogy for his trade war that's about as good as the last time he gave medicinal advice.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way, right? And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs.
Yeah, he's stupid. And let's keep it real. Anyone that didn't know he's stupid is even dumber than he is. Especially since people that aren't even economists or professors that analyze these things, they also knew better. This administration is running into a problem where they've started robbing rich people. It's the only time that these folks get angry, when a rich person robs another rich person. It's even got Elon Musk trying to distance himself, but people aren't going to buy it, just like his Teslas.
The tariffs that at the end of the day, I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation, effectively creating a free trade zone between Europe and North America. And that would be that's what I hope occurs. So that has certainly been my advice to the president.
So I guess while this guy waits on the big tax cut heist that Doge has been destroying Americans' lives over, he's not happy that he's been taking billions and billions of dollars worth of hits to his net worth due to these tariffs. He still somehow thinks people should give a damn about his money when he's probably the biggest reason that the dumbest president in history is torching everything. He made fun of Lutnick's ridiculous explanation of why they're targeting penguins on tariffs. He went after Peter Navarro's Harvard education after his discussion of how great this trade war is, and later deleted a post that said Navarro ain't built shit. Here's that dumb rich guy responding to the first dumb rich guy's criticism.
Can we go back to Elon Musk for a second? Because I'm glad that you brought that up. He also took a shot at you personally on X, and he's going against the administration with respect to the tariff policy. The president has said in the coming months he may leave the administration. Peter, is there a rift internally?
No, I mean, look, Elon, when he's in his Doge lane is great. But we understand what's going on here. We just have to understand. Elon sells cars, and he's in Texas assembling cars that have big parts of that car from Mexico, China. The batteries come from Japan or China. The electronics come from Taiwan. And he's simply protecting his own interests, as any business person would do. We're more concerned about Detroit building Cadillacs with American engines. And that's what this is all about. So it's fine. There's no riff here. Look, Elon, he's got X. He's got a big microphone. We don't mind him saying whatever he wants. But just the American people need to understand that we understand what that's all about. Right. And it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. You know, these guys admit so many things to our faces that too many people don't pick up on. The number one objective is to avoid any signs of internal battles among these billionaires before they finish robbing the country. But a few of them don't like losing anything in the meantime, which forces them to lash out at their fellow thieves in the room. Navarro admitted that he understands Musk's frustration because he's got a car company that has parts from Mexico, China, Japan, and Taiwan. So he's just protecting his business. Okay, so Elon Musk is one of those anti-American businesses that's been ripping Americans off with his cheap imports, right? But Just last month, the president and every other ass kisser was promoting Teslas as great American cars that everyone should buy, while protests and vandalism torched a few of them. He's part of the problem that they have, but they praise him at the same time. They're stupid. Here's another stupid billionaire exposing his stupidity on TV.
Why are the Heard and McDonald Islands, which don't export to the United States and are quite literally inhabited by penguins, why do they face a 10% tariffs? Did you use AI to generate this?
No. The idea, look, the idea is
why are they on the list?
Left off. Because the idea, what happens is, if you leave anything off the list, the countries that try to basically arbitrage America go through those countries to us. Any country, like we had tariffs, the president put tariffs on China, right, in 2018. And then what China started doing is they started going through other countries to America.
Right.
They just built through other countries through America. And so the president knows that. He's tired of it, and he's going to fix that. So basically, he said, look, I can't let any part of the world be a place where China or other countries can ship through them. So he ended those loopholes.
When she asked if they used AI to generate their tariff list to include the wholesale ripoff that those penguins have been getting away with for decades, he chuckled and said, no, which obviously means yes. We're just stupid.
Why do they face a 10% tariffs? Did you use AI to generate this?
No.
If we make the very simple decision to stop believing stupid, lazy billionaires, more people will stop helping them destroy their lives and take their money. These fools can't even get their messaging straight on whether or not Donald Trump's cartoonish tariffs are meant to start negotiating or if they're all set in stone.
But just to be clear, April 9th, the so-called retaliatory tariffs, the reciprocal tariffs, I should say, are those coming or are they open to negotiation?
The tariffs are coming. He announced it, and he wasn't kidding. The tariffs are coming. Of course they are.
One of the big questions and points of confusion, I think, is are these tariffs permanent or are they a negotiating tactic? Some administration officials have said they're permanent. President Trump himself has said he's open to negotiating. So let me just ask you, is President Trump willing to negotiate or are these tariffs permanent?
Well, I think that's going to be a decision for President Trump, but I can tell you that as only he can do at this moment, he's created maximum leverage for himself. And it's not the kind of thing you can negotiate away in days or weeks.
So if I can just circle back to Vietnam, then does that mean the tariff stays?
Yes, I mean, look, here's the thing. This is not a negotiation. This is a national emergency based on a trade deficit that's gotten out of control because of cheating.
Three of the president's other economic advisors who are on other networks today say that 50 different countries have been calling the White House to try to talk about the tariffs. What does that mean? Because that makes it sound like there is a negotiation, which is different from saying the tariffs are permanent.
Well, what it shows is that all these countries know that they've been ripping us off, and the day has come for that to end.
All that while the guy in the White House claims that the entire world is calling, ready to fall in line with his tariffs that make zero sense because they're not based in real-life numbers. So now that they're cornered and the villains are fighting over each other's net worth being challenged as multiple major cities are now filling with angry protesters, they're hoping stupidity wins in the end, with probably the dumbest excuse for these tariffs that we've ever heard. Listen to this.
It's not just the destruction of the economic vitality of the working class, but there has been a spiritual decimation that has come along with that. A crisis in masculinity because we shipped jobs that gave men who work with their hands for a living and rely on brawn and physicality off to other countries to build up their middle class. And then we imported millions and millions of illegals to work in construction, to work in, yes, manufacturing, what's left here, to work in landscaping, to work in janitorial services, to work in a whole bunch of jobs that used to give men access to the American dream. So Donald Trump is simply saying no more to this and to the crisis in masculinity, which is, of course, why young men feel so attracted to what he's offering.
Yes, and when young men are not doing well, it's not good for young women either.